What's good, everybody? This is Brian J's Nerd Talk, and good morning. I think it's like 5 something in the morning here in New York. But yeah, I woke up and I decided to finish this collection of short stories by Lord Dunsany called The Gods of Pegana, this is the oldest fantasy book I've read. This came out in the year 1905. It's a collection of poetry, short stories by Lord Dunsany. And yeah, this is shorter than most novellas. This is like 43 pages long. It's pretty cheap. You could buy it for like $7 on Amazon Prime. And yeah, this is great. The writing is really, really great. Beautiful English, beautiful prose. A lot of the stories are very, very poetic. It's about the gods of Pegana on this homeworld of Pegana that has like its own geography, its own world with all these different gods with like super OP like powers. These are like some very, very powerful gods and godlike beings. And yeah, it's just really beautiful. And Lord Dunsany influenced J.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, who went on to influence fantasy writers like George R. Martin, Tad Williams and Brandon Sanderson and Robert Jordan, who all changed fantasy literature of the last, 36 years, 37 years. Tolkien, has been influencing fantasy for over 90 years, and so is C.S. Lewis for 80, 90 years now. But yeah, Lord Dunsany, he's the godfather of fantasy. He first wrote this in 1905. He wrote other fantasy books and stories from 1905 to the year 1919. He also wrote some science fiction stories in the 1940s and 50s. And yeah, he lived until he was 79 years old. And he's just such a great writer. And this guy was like a real Renaissance man, too. He did all sorts of stuff. It was really crazy. You look up his life, do research. He had a very interesting and fascinating life. But yeah, great writer. The Gods of Pegana is really, really great. It's kind of outdated in some spots. There's no real magic system or explanation to why people have these powers, and there's this world called Pegana. It's just straight up naive fantasy, written at a time before there needed to be rules for almost every magic system to be made in fantasy today, But it's just really great. I highly recommend The Gods of Pegana. Buy it for $7 on Amazon Prime, written by Lord Dunsany. I give The Lords of Pegana a 9 out of 10. It's really, really great. I highly recommend it. And this is Brian J's Nerd Talk. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.